Do you know what the most lethal weapon your enemies can use against you is? It's not betrayal, it's not lies, it's your own emotions. While you're reading this, there are people studying how to make you react, how to upset you, how to break you emotionally. And most people fall into the trap, but you won't be one of them. Machiavelli knew this 500 years ago. Those who cannot control their emotions will be controlled by others. He wasn't writing for dreamers, he was writing for warriors who wanted to understand the real world. That world where an uncontrolled impulse can destroy decades of work, where showing weakness is signing your social death sentence. Today, you're going to learn something that 95% of people will never understand. True power isn't about screaming louder, but about the silence that disarms, the calm that intimidates, that deadly pause before acting that makes your enemies tremble. Don't react. Don't expose yourself. Don't show weakness. These aren't just words, they're the 3 master keys to absolute power. And when you finish this video, you'll have something very few possess: total control over yourself. I'm ready to be unbreakable. Listen carefully. Every time you react without thinking, you're handing over your power on a silver platter. And there are people who live off that, who feed on your reactions like emotional vampires. Machiavelli observed something brutal in the Italian courts. The princes who lasted decades were never the most aggressive, but the most calculating. While others rushed to fight over any provocation, they waited, observed, and when they finally acted, it was lethal and definitive. Anger makes you predictable. Wounded pride makes you vulnerable. The need to be right turns you into a slave of others' opinions. Do you understand what's happening? You're not the one fighting. You're being used as a weapon against yourself. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Not all provocations deserve a response. In fact, 90% of the time, the greatest act of strength is simply not moving. Because when you choose not to react, you disarm the aggressor without needing to fight. The strategic mind doesn't react, it calculates. It doesn't explode, it evaluates. It doesn't move on impulse, it acts when everything is in its favor. I breathe, I observe, I decide. That's my new religion. Showing everything you feel is like handing over a detailed map of your weak points. And in a world where information is power, that's strategic suicide. Machiavelli taught that simulation and dissimulation weren't for deceiving, but for surviving. In the Renaissance courts, whoever showed all their cards ended up dead before dawn. Do you think the modern world is different? You're mortally wrong. Here's a revelation that will change your life. Not everyone deserves to know your truth, your pain, your rage, your hope. They're sacred seeds that shouldn't be planted in just any soil. There are people who are just waiting for that information to use it as a weapon against you. The true strategist appears to be virtuous, but keeps their hardness for when they really need it. It's not falsehood, it's pure emotional intelligence, knowing what to show, when, and above all, to whom. When nobody knows what really moves you, nobody can control you. When you keep strategic silence, you force others to show their cards first. Silence isn't weakness, it's absolute dominion. Your inner world is your most valuable fortress. Don't give the keys to just anyone. I'm learning to guard what's sacred. My silence is my strength. Weakness is like blood in the water. It attracts all predators. And there's something you need to understand immediately. Many confuse coldness with lack of heart, but Machiavelli saw it differently. Well-trained coldness isn't absence of emotion. It's emotional protection. It's having an invisible shield against others' chaos. When someone hurts you, it's not always out of malice. Sometimes it's out of interest, fear, or simple convenience. And understanding this changes everything because you stop taking offense as something personal. Here's the brutal truth. Men forget their father's death sooner than the loss of their patrimony. Machiavelli said it centuries ago, and it's still true. We live in a world where interests weigh more than affections, where betrayal isn't from hatred but from convenience. Accepting this doesn't mean hardening your heart, but sharpening your mind. Because when you understand that not everyone has your moral code, you stop expecting the impossible. And by stopping your expectations, you also stop suffering from it. Don't expect loyalty from someone who isn't even loyal to themselves. Coldness gives you distance, and distance gives you clarity. Thank you for awakening. Now I see with different eyes. Every time you get upset, you're giving away power. Every impulsive reaction is a victory for whoever provoked you. But there's something strategists know and impulsive people ignore: the power of strategic pause. It's not about repressing what you feel. It's about choosing the exact moment to act. When someone betrays you, you can scream, or you can take mental note. This is what this person is like, and that's enough. There's no need to dramatize like a cheap soap opera actor. The wise person isn't surprised by fire. They anticipate it. It's not about emotional coldness, but about stopping yourself just before exploding and asking something crucial. Is it really worth it? Do I want to react on impulse, or do I prefer to decide with strategy? Machiavelli knew that true power isn't shown with noise, it's perceived in silence, in that deadly pause between what you feel and what you do, in that space where you decide not to explode even though you could. Conscious decision will always be stronger than blind impulse. Because while others waste energy demonstrating, you conserve yours to transform. Where there's pause, there's power. Where there's power, there's freedom, self-control, clarity, inner power. This is my new nature. Here's a revelation that's going to change your life forever. People don't act against you, they act in favor of themselves. You were just in their way. That hurts at first, yes, but it also liberates in a brutal way. Because if it wasn't against you personally, you don't have to carry it like it's your cross. When you stop taking everything personally, you start moving with a lightness you never knew before. You're no longer trapped in emotion, you're observing the game from the outside. And from there you always see better. The one who observes calmly always sees more than the one who reacts with blind rage. Machiavelli understood something most people ignore. We live in a world where betrayal isn't from hatred, but from survival. Where decisions are made for convenience, not malice. Accepting this doesn't make you cynical, it makes you wise. I'm not what others make me feel, I am what I choose to do with that. This is the difference between the emotional slave and the free strategist. Every time someone hurts you and you don't react with immediate revenge, you're demonstrating something very few possess: strategic maturity. The ability to convert pain into wisdom, betrayal into experience, others' chaos into your own clarity. I'm taking control. I'm no longer a prisoner of others' actions. Your emotional energy isn't an infinite resource, and there are energy vampires who live by sucking others' reactions. But you're going to install something they don't expect: invisible filters. Is it worth getting upset over someone who doesn't even respect their own existence? Does it make sense to get upset over actions of people who don't know your values or your battles? The answer is a resounding no. Giving emotional access is like opening your house. If you don't watch who enters, they'll dirty it. There are people who arrive with their feet full of mud from their own frustrations and step on everything you've built with effort. They don't do it out of direct malice. They do it because they don't know how to live any other way. But you do know. And that's why you now install filters. You observe with attention, listen with distance, choose with clarity. Machiavelli knew it. The true leader observes in silence, selects with precision, and acts only when it's worth it. Choosing who you listen to is protecting your soul from emotional contamination. It's not arrogance, it's self-protection. Like the strategist who doesn't throw themselves into any battle, you don't enter any emotional war. Filtering is also an act of self-love. I'm learning to guard what's sacred. My peace isn't for sale. Machiavelli spoke of a principle few understand: self-control as a symbol of superiority. While the world screams, you keep silent. While others get upset, you maintain calm. That projects something very few achieve: emotional authority. They don't respect you out of fear. They respect you because they don't know how to break you. Because there's something in you that doesn't move with the wind, something that doesn't respond to the first spark, something that doesn't bend to others' drama, and that imposes, not through violence, but through firmness, because whoever dominates their emotions already dominates their inner world. And whoever dominates their inner world projects an energy that others feel but can't explain. It's the difference between the one who screams to be heard and the one who speaks softly because they know others will quiet down to listen. Between the one who threatens from weakness and the one who remains silent from strength. When someone provokes you, you don't breathe to calm down. You breathe to buy time, to remind yourself that you're not obligated to respond, that nobody has the right to alter your center. Calm isn't passivity, it's precision. Silence isn't submission, it's pure strategy. Today, I choose to be rock, not leaf, deep root, not shadow that moves with any wind. Self-control, silence, inner strength. This is my new identity. Machiavelli warned something crucial. Don't face the enemy until you have all advantages in your favor. That's not cowardice, it's pure strategic wisdom. The one who rushes falls, the one who waits builds. You don't need immediate revenge. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Because the one who has true power doesn't scream it, they demonstrate it when necessary. And when that moment arrives, one single action is enough to change everything. Without rage, without noise, without need for applause. Real power doesn't see it coming. You only feel it when it arrives. Like lightning that falls in silence but illuminates the entire sky. Don't confuse impulse with strategy. Don't confuse noise with power. True power is serene. It doesn't impose itself by force. It sustains itself through presence. And that presence is built in silence, in observation, in strategic pause. While the world demands instant justice, you prepare the scenario where everyone will reveal their true nature. You don't run, you don't react, you wait and observe. Because you know something impulsive people ignore. Time always plays in favor of the patient. Every day you don't react, you become stronger. Every provocation you ignore, wiser. Every silence you sustain, more powerful. I don't run, I don't react, I wait and observe. Patience is my secret weapon. Every time someone screams, something inside them is broken. But you don't have to break with them. You can look in silence, breathe deeply, and decide something revolutionary. I don't enter this war, not out of fear, not out of indifference, but because you chose another level. A level where emotional battles are won by those who don't throw themselves without thinking, who choose when, how, and above all, if it's worth fighting. And in that instant, you're no longer part of the chaos. You're the one observing from the summit, with clarity, with coldness, with that firmness that only comes from total self-control. Machiavelli knew it. Emotional war isn't won by the most aggressive, it's won by the most intelligent. The one who converts every provocation into information, every attack into an opportunity to better know their opponent. When others let themselves be carried away by fury, you choose clarity. When they demand immediate justice, you design lasting advantage. It's not about staying quiet always, but about choosing when your voice has more impact. Because not all battles are worth the same. Not everyone deserves your precious energy. Keeping silent isn't weakness, it's building power in the shadows. A power that doesn't need witnesses to make itself felt. I prefer the silence that transforms to the rage that wears down. The true master doesn't react, calculates, doesn't move on impulse, doesn't respond from pride, acts when everything is in their favor. These words from Machiavelli are going to tattoo themselves in your mind forever, and you can do the same. Let the other believe they won, let them relax, let them lower their guard, and right there you observe, evaluate, understand. Not to take revenge like an amateur, but to decide from wisdom. from that freedom that only self-control allows you, because when you dominate your reactions, you have total control of the human chessboard, even though it seems like you're losing. Today, I choose to see, not attack, understand, not explode. Convert every difficult situation into a university where I learn something new about human nature, because the one who knows themselves and knows the enemy will never lose. And knowing the enemy means observing them when they think nobody is watching, when they lower their mask, when they show their true face. Your coldness isn't insensitivity, it's strategic protection. It's knowing how to guard the most valuable thing inside you, your peace, your clarity, your precious energy. When others want to provoke, you choose to breathe. When they want to drag you into their chaos, you choose to maintain your center. Today, I choose to be a human calculator, not an emotional reactor. Your emotional energy is limited and sacred. You're not going to waste it proving anything to anyone. Your center isn't within reach of just anyone, and that decision transforms you from victim to strategist. You decide who deserves access to your emotional world. Not just anyone should have that privilege. Is it worth getting upset over someone who doesn't even respect their own life? Does it make sense to get upset over actions of people who don't know your values? The answer is no. When you give emotional power to someone irrelevant, you become a prisoner of their chaos, and that's not fair to you. Not everyone deserves a reaction. Not everyone deserves a word from you. The true leader observes in silence, selects with precision, and acts only when it's worth it. Choosing who you listen to is protecting your soul from contamination. It's installing invisible filters that separate the important from the irrelevant, the sacred from the profane. Like the strategist who doesn't throw themselves into any battle, you don't enter any emotional war. Because you've understood something fundamental. Your time and energy are your most valuable resources. And valuable resources aren't given away, they're invested wisely. I'm ready to care for my energy like my greatest treasure. Giving emotional access is like opening your house. If you don't watch who enters, they'll dirty it completely. And there are people who only seek to project their frustrations, who arrive with feet full of mud and step on everything you've built with effort. They don't do it out of direct malice. They do it because they don't know how to live any other way. Their own lives are chaos, and they need to contaminate yours to feel better. But you already know how the game works, and that's why you now install invisible filters. You observe with attention, listen with strategic distance, choose with absolute clarity. It's not arrogance, it's intelligent self-protection. Like the strategist who doesn't throw themselves into any battle, you don't enter any emotional drama. Because you've understood something that changes everything, filtering is also an act of self-love. Machiavelli knew it. In the Italian courts, those who lasted decades were the ones who knew who to listen to and who to ignore. Those who had armored doors in their minds and hearts. Your emotional house now has private security. Not just anyone enters. Not just any comment penetrates. Not just any opinion affects you. Because you've installed something very few have: emotional immunity. I'm growing in silence. My peace has maximum security filters. While the world screams to be heard, you keep silent because you know that when you speak, everyone will quiet down to listen. This is the difference between real authority and desperate noise. There's something in you that no longer moves with the wind, something that doesn't respond to the first spark, something that doesn't bend to others' drama, and that projects an energy that others feel but can't explain. They don't respect you out of fear. They respect you because they don't know how to break you. Because you've developed something very few possess: emotional authority. That serene presence that imposes without violence, that dominates without aggression. Self-control has become your symbol of superiority. While others get upset, you sustain calm. And that calm isn't passivity, it's precision. It's not submission, it's strategy in pure state. When someone provokes you now, you don't breathe to calm down. You breathe to buy time, to remind yourself that you're not obligated to respond, that nobody has the right to alter your sacred center. Today, you choose to be rock, not leaf that moves with any wind. Deep root that feeds on its own strength, not shadow that depends on others' light. Self-control, silence, inner strength. This is my new immutable nature. If you got this far, you're no longer the same person who started this journey. Something inside you ignited, a new decision, a different look, a strength you didn't know before. Machiavelli didn't speak for the weak of heart. He spoke for those who want to understand how the human soul moves when power, emotion, and strategy cross paths. And today, you have seen what many will never see. You've chosen not to react like an emotional amateur. You've chosen not to expose yourself like an open book. You've chosen not to show weakness like a lamb among wolves. You've chosen to transform yourself from the center, from calm, from your unbreakable core, because coldness isn't coldness, it's dominion, and that dominion is pure freedom. True power starts from within, with control of your emotions, with protection of your energy, with intelligent selection of your battles. You no longer react, you act. You no longer expose yourself, you strategize. You no longer show weakness, you project strength. Silence has become your most lethal weapon. Strategic pause, your superpower. Calculated coldness, your invisible armor. You are unbreakable because you've mastered the only thing you can really control, yourself. I'm ready to live with intention, strategy, and wisdom. Deep gratitude, silent power, real freedom. Are you ready to join the few who dominate instead of being dominated? Subscribe and hit the bell, because the next video will reveal the secrets Machiavelli never wanted you to know. Caos. Eres el que observa desde la cima, con claridad, con frialdad, con esa firmeza que solo viene del autodominio total. Maquiavelo lo sabía. La guerra emocional no la gana el más agresivo, la gana el más inteligente. El que convierte cada provocación en información, cada ataque en oportunidad de conocer mejor a su oponente. Cuando otros se dejan llevar por la furia, tú eliges la claridad. Cuando exigen justicia inmediata, tú diseñas ventaja duradera. No se trata de quedarte callado siempre, sino de elegir cuando tu voz tiene más impacto. Porque no todas las batallas valen lo mismo. No todo el mundo merece tu energía preciosa. Guardar silencio no es debilidad, es construir poder en la sombra. Un poder que no necesita testigos para hacerse sentir. Prefiero el silencio que transforma a la rabia que desgasta. El verdadero maestro no reacciona, calcula, no se mueve por impulso, no responde por orgullo, actúa cuando todo está a su favor. Estas palabras de Maquiavelo van a tatuarse en tu mente para siempre, y tú puedes hacer lo mismo, dejar que el otro crea que ganó, que se relaje, que baje la guardia, y justo ahí tú observas, evalúas, entiendes. No para vengarte como un amateur, sino para decidir desde la sabiduría, desde esa libertad que solo el autocontrol te permite, porque cuando dominas tus reacciones, tienes el control total del tablero de ajedrez humano, aunque parezca que estás perdiendo. Hoy elijo ver, no atacar. Entender, no explotar. Convertir cada situación difícil en una universidad donde aprendo algo nuevo sobre la naturaleza humana. Porque el que se conoce a sí mismo y conoce al enemigo, nunca perderá. Y conocer al enemigo significa observarlo cuando cree que nadie está mirando, cuando baja la máscara, cuando muestra su verdadera cara. Tu frialdad no es insensibilidad, es protección estratégica, es saber guardar lo más valioso dentro de ti, tu paz, tu claridad, tu energía preciosa. Cuando otros quieren provocar, tú eliges respirar. Cuando quieren arrastrarte a su caos, tú eliges mantener tu centro. Hoy elijo ser calculadora humana, no reactor emocional. Tu energía emocional es limitada y sagrada. No vas a desperdiciarla demostrando nada a nadie. Tu centro no está al alcance de cualquiera y esa decisión te transforma de víctima en estratega. Tú decides quién merece acceso a tu mundo emocional. No cualquiera debería tener ese privilegio. Vale la pena molestarse por alguien que ni siquiera respeta su propia vida. ¿Tiene sentido alterarte por acciones de personas que no conocen tus valores? La respuesta es no. Cuando le das poder emocional a alguien irrelevante, te conviertes en prisionero de su caos. Y eso no es justo para ti. No todos merecen una reacción. No todos merecen una palabra tuya. El verdadero líder observa en silencio, selecciona con precisión y actúa solo cuando vale la pena. Elegir a quien escuchas es proteger tu alma de la contaminación. Es instalar filtros invisibles que separan lo importante de lo irrelevante, lo sagrado de lo profano. Como el estratega que no se lanza a cualquier batalla, tú no entras en cualquier guerra emocional, porque has entendido algo fundamental. Tu tiempo y energía son tus recursos más valiosos. Y los recursos valiosos no se regalan, se invierten sabiamente. Estoy listo para cuidar mi energía como mi mayor tesoro. Dar acceso emocional es como abrir tu casa. Si no cuidas quién entra, te la ensucian completamente. Y hay personas que solo buscan proyectar sus frustraciones, que llegan con los pies llenos de barro y pisan todo lo que has construido con esfuerzo. No lo hacen por maldad directa, lo hacen porque no saben vivir de otra forma. Sus propias vidas son un caos y necesitan contaminar la tuya para sentirse mejor. Pero tú ya sabes cómo funciona el juego. Y por eso ahora instalas filtros invisibles. Observas con atención, escuchas con distancia estratégica, eliges con claridad absoluta. No es arrogancia, es autoprotección inteligente. Como el estratega que no se lanza a cualquier batalla, tú no entras en cualquier drama emocional, porque has comprendido algo que cambia todo. Filtrar también es un acto de amor propio. Maquiavelo lo sabía. En las cortes italianas, quienes duraban décadas eran los que sabían a quién escuchar y a quién ignorar. Los que tenían puertas blindadas en sus mentes y corazones. Tu casa emocional ahora tiene seguridad privada. No entra cualquiera, no cualquier comentario penetra, no cualquier opinión te afecta, porque has instalado algo que muy pocos tienen: inmunidad emocional. Estoy creciendo en silencio. Mi paz tiene filtros de máxima seguridad. Mientras el mundo grita para hacerse escuchar, tú guardas silencio porque sabes que cuando hables, todos se callarán para oírte. Esta es la diferencia entre autoridad real y ruido desesperado.